Bunch of life. Nicol Bolas. In the house. It hits. That's very good. Bolas now has all of these abilities as well. Yeah, this could be bad. We'll see though. Probably should have went with the Exile. Just the Sailor. I mean, it's something, I guess. Chump blocker, at the very least. But we can also... And now this is a lot of fun. I think just keep playing, or should we just have him Exile? Yeah, let's eat his hand. I don't really care for another Sailor off the top, right?
All the cosmos are mine to control. I hope you miss.
No attacks, playing defensively. If you've been enjoying any content on the channel, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. It's a great free way to support me along this journey. We've got everything from free-to-play budget beginner guides, just general Magic the Gathering Arena beginner guides talking about the principles and archetypes behind this amazing game, some of the top-ranked standard decks, the best historic decks, great original Brawl decks, and some tools and tips, and then we even have a little bit of limited, so no matter what you're into within Magic the Gathering Arena, we have you covered. Subscribe to the channel, join for your chance to win up to 500,000 gems. Make sure to check out our Discord and enjoy this video. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Amonkhet Remastered just hit. We're playing Grixis Walkers with Nicol Bolas, God-Pharaoh. This is a 7 cost, 7 loyalty Planeswalker with 4 abilities, plus 2 target opponent exile cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost, so that's always a lot of fun. Plus 1, each opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand. That's actually a little bit obsessive. And minus 4, Nicol Bolas, God-Pharaoh, deals 7 damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. And minus 12, each, or exile each non-land permanent your opponents control. So this is probably the strongest planeswalker that we've seen in Magic the Gathering Arena, in my opinion. Maybe even a little bit better than Bolas. You know, the minus X ability is really good, but the minus 12 here, just to exile each non-land permanent your opponent controls, that's game, absolutely. We're getting there through our Elder Spell, and of course we've got our other Bolases on deck with us today as well. So this is a Grixis Bolas Tribal Walkers deck. As always, we're breaking down the deck list in its entirety. What does each individual card do? What does it stand for? And how do we make the most out of it? Then we're talking about the deck's tech, the strategies, the synergies. How do all of those individual cards come together to form a coherent, well-tuned archetype? Then we'll watch some gameplay footage where I do my best to break down all of the play lines and interactions between this Grixis Walkers deck and the rest of the new Amonkhet historic meta. So a lot of fun today learning these new cards. They just keep injecting more cards into the historic format, and it is hard to keep up. But regardless, I'm going to do my best to showcase some fresh content for you guys as the set rolls out and we wait for Zendikar Rising. So let's get right into it. Before we do, I have to remind you, though, that we are live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. At 7 a.m., we're on Twitch. And then again at 6 p.m., we're back on YouTube in the Discord all day as well. And those are Mountain Standard Times. You're going to have to do the personal conversion there to figure it out, but it's every day consistently, always the same. And if you find any value within this video, I really encourage you to give me a thumbs up and share the channel out to a friend. We're getting close to our 500,000 gem giveaway at 10,000 subs, so there's really only a couple hundred spots left. Do not miss out. Get involved in that as soon as you can. Anywho, starting out with our 1-drops, we have 3 copies of Thoughtseize. Sorcery, target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. You lose 2 life. So this is really great because it takes any card and only costs 1. The downside is that we're losing a little bit of life, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Onto our 2-drops, 2 copies of the Elder Spell, Sorcery Speed. Destroy any number of target planeswalkers. You choose a planeswalker you control. Put 2 loyalty counters on it for each planeswalker destroyed this way. 3 copies of Thought Erasure, Sorcery Speed as well. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card, and we surveil 1. Necromantia for 2, our first 3-drop, Sorcery Speed. Choose a card name other than a basic land card name. Search your opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the exiled name, with the name, and then we exile them. Player shuffles their library, then creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token for each card exiled only from their hand this way. 2 copies of Cry the Carnarium, another sorcery speed spell. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Exile all creature cards in all graveyards that would be put there from the battlefield this turn. And if a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Not really so important, but still pretty cool to pick up some of those Rakdos sacrifice decks. Narset, Potter of Veils ×3, 5 loyalty, which she enters. Static ability, each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn, -2. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them. Put it into your hand and then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Into our 4 drops, a single copy of Teferi, Master of Time, 3 loyalty. Static ability, if you may activate loyalty abilities of this Teferi on any player's turn, anytime you can cast an instant, +1, draw a card, then discard a card. -3, target creatures you don't control, a target creature you don't control phases out. And -10, take 2 turns after this one. For extinction events, my favorite card right now, choose odd or even. Exile creatures with converted mana cost of the chosen value. 3 copies of Nicol Bolas the Ravager, which transforms into Nicol Bolas the Arisen. This is a 4/4 with flying as the creature, and when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. We could pay 7 to transform it into the Planeswalker. Anytime we could cast a sorcery. The Planeswalker comes in with 7 loyalty, has 4 abilities as well. +2, draw 2 cards. -3, Nicol Bolas Arisen deals 10 damage to target creature or Planeswalker. And -4, put a target creature or Planeswalker card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library, so they're going to basically top deck themselves into a loss. Nicol Bolas, the Dragon God, is our first 4-drop. We've got 3 copies of this. 4 loyalty when he comes in. Static ability of him having access to all of the loyalty abilities of all of the Planeswalkers on the field, both yours and your opponent's. +1, you draw a card. Each opponent exiles a card from their hand or a permanent they control. -3, destroy target creature or Planeswalker. And -8, each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or Planeswalker loses the game. 2 copies of Ashiok Nightmare Muse, coming in with 5 loyalty. +1, create a 2/3 blue and black Nightmare creature token. With whenever this creature attacks or blocks, each opponent exiles the top 2 cards of their library. -3, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then that player exiles a card from their hand. -7, you may cast up to 3 target spells from among face-up cards your opponent owns from exile without paying their mana cost. We also have a single copy of Jace, Unraveler of Secrets, another new card. 5 loyalty. +1, scry 1, then draw a card. -2, return target creature to its owner's hand. And -8, you get an emblem with whenever an opponent casts their first spell each turn, counter that spell. Well, that's a lot of fun there. Shark Typhoon ×2 enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that creature's converted mana cost. Now, this is a 6-drop enchantment, cycling for 2 + X, and whenever you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. That's actually really powerful, the cycling of the shark, and my favorite thing to do. We have a single copy of Liliana, Dreadhorde General here for 6 loyalty. Static ability, whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures. And -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control among permanent types and sacrifices the rest. We've got a single copy of Chandra, Awaken Inferno, 6 loyalty. Cannot be countered. +2, each opponent gets an emblem with at the beginning of your upkeep. This emblem deals 1 damage to you. -3, Chandra does 3 damage to each non-elemental creature, and -X, Chandra deals X damage to target creature or Planeswalker. If the permanent dealt damage this way would die, exile it instead. We've got 2 copies of Nicol Bolas, God-Pharaoh. We talked about this before. 7 loyalty when he enters, +2. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until exiling a non-land card until end of turn. We may cast that card without paying its mana cost. +1, each opponent exiles cards from their hands, 2 of them in fact. And -4, Nicol Bolas deals 7 damage to target opponent, creature, or Planeswalker that they control. -12, each permanent gets exiled that your opponent controls. That's a non-land, so just wiping the field of everything for them. These spells are accompanied by 4 interplanar beacons. Whenever we cast a Planeswalker, gain a life. 3 Dragonskull Summits, 4 Blood Crypts, 3 Steam Vents, 3 Watery Graves, 4 Drowned Catacombs, and 3 Islands. No sideboard today. We're playing best of 1. And I think this deck is not its final list. Don't get me wrong. We're going to probably improve this. But Amonkhet literally just hit, and I wanted to make a Nicol Bolas God-Pharaoh deck. And, you know, it's not bad. It's a lot of fun. I think we just maybe need a little bit more single target removal early on to get us through some of those pesky creatures, right? But regardless, Extinction Event is just cleaning house right now. Cry of the Carnarium should get anything under it. And, you know, we're using Bolas's removal. We're using Ashiok's removal. things like this, right? Liliana and Chandra. So we're using our Planeswalkers for removal instead of single target spells, and then just kind of trying to survive off the life gain from our beacon while doing so. And it actually works all right. And then, of course, we do go lethal with our Elder Spell. So that's the deck list. Let's actually break down the strategy maybe a little bit more in depth than that. The general premise of the deck is to stack and ramp, survive, and then just like get those Planeswalkers out, get 2 Planeswalkers, 3 Planeswalkers, 4 Planeswalkers on the field, and you're really going to be able to get ahead of your opponent this way. So early game, we're talking hand disruption. This is our first and primary goal, accomplished through Thought Siege and Thought Erasure. Looking at our opponent's hands, now we know what cards they're using, so we need to know if we're playing around counters or if we're free and clear, if there's removal spells, like what have you, right? So we can kind of form our game plan once we've seen their hand, which is going to make the rest of our match a lot easier. So first up, early game hand disruption, and then getting to know what deck they are. Second up, stacking Planeswalkers. We're immediately into the main phase of the deck, which is stacking Planeswalkers. We've got Narset that comes out really early. Teferi comes out fairly early as well. And we can also go with Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, as a creature. So that's kind of our early game. And then once we've determined what deck they're playing, we go in with the Necromentia and we take the best card within their deck. It could be an Ugin, it could be an Ulamog, it could be a Second Sun. It could even be a Nissa, right? So just take their best card away from them with Necromentia once you've determined what kind of deck they're playing and you know what their best card is. And then we're surviving, right? We're casting Extinction Events, wiping their creatures. We're casting Cry of the Carnarium, wiping their field or their creatures, using Nicol Bolas to block and kill his creatures. Narset's going to minus to help us pull the removal to survive. If we don't need removal, we're into more hand disruption. And if we can't get that, then the Planeswalkers, obviously. Teferi helps us draw what we need. And again, this could be Cries or the Extinction Events, could be Necro. Just anything to help you draw. And the -3 is going to help you survive, keep those Planeswalkers alive. And then we're into the late game, which is just stack oppressive Planeswalkers. Nicol Bolas has removal, which is great. Both of them do, really. Flooding the field with his permanents, especially if he's a mid-range deck, is very powerful, or another Planeswalkers deck. Just getting these big Planeswalkers out, crushing our opponent. Shark Typhoon is great with the deck. However, don't play it unless you know that there's no enchantment removal or anything like this counters, because the cycling is a lot more powerful than just wasting 6 mana and a card, which sucks. So don't be scared to cycle to get your Shark out and just use him as a defender as well to save your Planeswalkers a little bit so they can get going. And then once we've stacked all of our Planeswalkers, right, we just cast the Elder Spell. You can go a variety of different directions. Obviously, Bolas's -8 is the best. But again, -12 here from the Arisen is cool, and -12 from the Pharaoh is also really cool. So you can go either way, and even -8 on Chase if you just wanted to laugh at your opponent for a little bit. But regardless, there is a few different ways to end the match. You can kill him with Sharks. You can kill him with damage through your Planeswalkers. You can start casting his spells and attack him to death. Same with Nicol Bolas, which is pretty cool. And then just disrupting their hand and trying to shut them down as much as we can. So that was the deck list and general deck strategy. There's not so many really cool interactions within the deck. No instant speed sorceries because Teferi's gone. We're not bouncing Elspeth Conquers Death or, none of that. Really, the coolest interaction you can do is cycle your Sharknado, right? So early game, hand disruption, and then once you figure it out, you go in and you take their best card. Once you do that, you stack all your Planeswalkers and survive, stacking your mid-range Planeswalkers when you get chances, not letting them die. You're making sure to remove their creatures for survival first. And then we're hitting them with the Elder Spell just to win the game. So that's the deck list. There's no sideboard. Today we're playing best of one, taking our opponents off of surprise. I will show you guys how to play this deck, though. A lot of people are asking, well, how do I play in Historic? You just go play, find match play. You select your deck. Normally, we're going to be up here where it says Standard, all of our new decks, which we're going to upgrade for you guys. That's going to be a lot of fun. But you just click the Historic tab, and now you can play all of your Historic decks in Historic Play Queue. And this is where jank lives. This is where the sweat of the meta does not exist. So be sure to check that out. It's a lot of fun. That's just the play rank with your Historic deck that you pick in the top left. So this was Grixis Walkers. I hope you guys enjoy. I reminded you that I'm live every morning, 6 a.m. on YouTube, 7 a.m. on Twitch, 6 p.m. back on YouTube, all Mountain Standard, We're in the Discord all day long. We've got free entry tournaments, Brawl and Artisan, all with cash prizes. The 500,000 gem giveaway is almost ready to trigger again. So do not miss out. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some of our other content. Share to a friend, and I'm sure that they'll share some of the gems with you if they win. I do thank you for your time and attention as always, and a huge shout out to all of our financial support on the Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube membership programs. Appreciate that. And if you want to join any of those, again, links for everything is in the description below. Enjoy Grixis Walker, and we'll see you when we wrap out for my final propagandic thoughts. Peace! I think this is a cool start. There's no removal, but... Oh my lord. This is the wrong land we've added to the deck. That's hilarious. We had the art for it, so I just assumed it was the check land. We'll edit that out of there, you guys. Totes my bad. Right? Let's get that blue in there as well. Come and tapped. That's hysterical. Narset's very nice.
Mind and body.
Thank you for us to Elder Spell. Shatter, don't care about that. Let's see what else we're dealing with though. ECD. Lots of Teferis. So we take the ECD with Thought Erasure. Cry can go, he's got no creatures. And then we Necro T5.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
Needs to get a counterspell there, it's not. Could be here. It is. Nice. Enters tapped. I guess. It must just be a Chemister's Insight. There's no way he top decked another counter.
Here, deep below, lies.
I like just plussing here, I guess. That way if Teferi minuses, we can attack. He's not pulling his fourth land, I think. There it is. It's a slow one. Nonetheless, that's fine. Beacon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We hit Bolas next turn. So this is a weird situation. Because Teferi's gonna minus us. Let's try the long con, right? Counterspell probably, really? Okay, okay.
I shall miss your company.
Minusing our Ashiok. And you know, we are absolutely going to cast his own Second Son. As well as his Thought Erasure. Goes into his graveyard though, or library. But I believe we are the ones who get that effect. There's his Teferi. Now he does plus.
I'm not done yet.
He can drop 2 lands here on tap too. It comes in tap, so he's got 2 lands up.
All your fears are given form.
Well, do we just go for it and pretend that there's no counter here?
pan out.
Let's just play it safe. There was no counter. That Scry's really nice to get rid of that. We know he doesn't have a counter, so Teferi can come in. Let's gain a little life. Should have went with Bolas. It's fine. Ooh, he gets his second sun, though.
If I don't have a plan, I'll just make one up.
I think he's gonna spend his whole turn on that, though, probably. Alright, we need another Necromentia, and we're gonna grab said card.
Keep up the pace.
Didn't we Necro his Teferi? Or he hit us with an Absorb, probably. Okay. Thoughtseize is nice. It's literally all of our mana. Okay, killing Teferi. We get a second stun.
That didn't go according to plan.
Terror lurks among us.
Let's be smart. Let's get rid of Narset. Shatter is fine, uses all his mana. We're gonna try to play that second sun off the top of his library, if we can. Or he's gonna draw it. Shoot! This is not good. Okay, we got this. We have to cast it from this cast. If this spell was cast from your hand, if this was cast from your hand, you cast another spell named. At this game, you win the game. But we're not casting it from our hand, right? Minus 12. We can only go to 11. We just need to get it off the top. As long as there's no counterspell here. We're just using our plus ability. Oh, he can do it instant speed, right? Pulls it into his hand. And now we actually need to get it out of his hand. But the 2 from his hand isn't enough. Oof. It's not enough. We get close, but...
You will feel inspired.
I think he just has it. Even if we have him exile too. Our only bet is a plus. The exile from his hand, he's just going to toss 2 deads and beat us. So we need to somehow
No, you won't be needing those.
We could have held on to that absorb. That would have been cool. Good game. So he gets us on the second sun. Close. We almost had it out of his library. Let's see if we can get a win in this next match here. So the land looks a little weird here, right? We've got our boluses, which need red, and we don't have any. So we're going to toss it. Keep 6 here. Toss our 7-drop. If we can curve into our Ravager, that could be pretty cool. Wow. So, he's ahead of us. Bolas is not going to be able to hit the field, right? He's just going to hold up his mana to counter it. Pass, we'll cycle on his end step, I guess. This just pulls his other Frilled Mystic. Now we can play our Ravager, I hope. Right, he's got 3 cards in hand. Hopefully he just plays this Blessed Unicorn. Yeah, he goes in. It's a killer shark, but I believe overextending here. Even, odd, and even. We get the discard, which is actually pretty helpful. This saves us from attacks, for the most part, I think. Hopefully he spends his mana here, and then we can just keep piling on. He comes in as 7/7. It'll draw all his attackers to it, at least. And it dies anyways. So at least this way.
There are none greater than I.
Let's just draw 2 up to 9.
I know what must be done.
So he's going to smash that for sure. But it totally saves us for a turn. Hopefully we can pull more out of his hand. And then just get a really big extinction event. But he can counter anything at will, actually, because of the Blast. and Frilled Mystic. That's actually really bad. Go for it. You can actually do that twice. That's ridiculous. Goodness gracious. Right, he's got 3 again to redo it. Wow. Isn't that psycho? He can literally do that at will. Nice. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's game. Woof. Land looks pretty good. I mean, pretty heavy, but we'll get there. There's no need to pay 4 for a Thoughtseize. That's pretty aggressive. Busted in now, though, that's for sure. What are we dealing with? Some Death Barons. Oh, no. So, odds all the way across. Nice. That comes in tapped. This is a heavy, heavy hand. We're gonna need to play a lot of land. This is even as well. Kind of annoying. Alrighty. We want to... Oh, we don't get to. I say we want to trade with that Graveyard Marshal, but that's not happening. Dang. Aggro City. My lord. We can only cycle a shark for 2. These will be even. We need to get rid of that. Teferi can go. We need another extinction event. Crypt Breaker. Another odd, another odd. Getting hit for 8 here. Crypt Breaker, this is so gross. Good game. Oof. Beggars can't be choosers. I mean, let's just let it rip. Tempo blue. Totally fair and playable. Nice. So we are looking for our extinction event. We can cycle as well for the block, but he's got dive down to keep it alive. We are pulling it out of his hand at least. That's also all of his mana on his turn. So we can smash this thing, or we can throw up the block.
I wonder if you'll
Slaying the Stormwind. Curious Obsession goes to the grave.
overcome your fears.
And he has to discard. It's an opt. That's fine.
Fade into the shadows.
Ashiok should survive here. Negative. He goes down. Doesn't get the draw here, though.
I will haunt your dreams.
Three life is pretty cool. He needs a counterspell here. Negative.
I will spare you.
We could minus, but it
In
will.
exchange for
It's an
eternal
ability, so it can be
servitude.
blocked. So we're just gonna plus. Take a draw, which is great, and then he's exiling something. I'm assuming a tapped land. The ability's already on the stack, so he's just pushed Bolas back to us, and now he can't exile the borrower.
My
Very interesting play
schemes
there.
are never
Maybe there's a reason
ending.
behind that. I truly don't really mind playing Bolas again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can Thought Seize and play Bolas, I hope. The borrower is actually pretty annoying to me. Extinction Event would be ideal. Let's see what he's holding. It needs to be countered. He could, you know, it targets him, right? So he could sack it. Hexproof is annoying, but so is that. Teferi can shut down his draw as well. Gaining a bunch of life here is going to help us survive. Let's
If
take the
nothing
draw.
else, I will protect
We might have to
you.
toss this land, so we're keeping onto it. Woof. Let's take the draw. Either way, we would have died. He's tapped, which is nice at least,
I've
right?
learned my lesson.
As long as he doesn't play a land here. No! Nice. Just get that discard. Well, still something in his hand. Another land. Annoying. I mean, we're ready to blast off here. We can survive a little bit longer. I mean, sure. You can hit for 5. Just loses his Curious Obsession. Interesting. Get Bolas in play. Bunch of life to help us survive. Those beacons have been just absolutely amazing for us.
Will bend to my will.
Let's just take the plus here. Drawing, drawing, drawing. One of his land goes, which is always helpful.
You have no weakness I cannot
No attacks, we're
explode.
defending. Brazen Borrower comes in with Flash. And a Sailor, nice. We're ready for said extinction event. 1, 1, 3, 1. We are all odds. Let's pull out our extinction event here. Where is it? It's right here. 10%. Huh. No blocks, let's take it. Okay. We have 1, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So we would need to kill 2 Planeswalkers. That doesn't work. Bunch of life. Nicol Bolas. In the house. It hits. That's very good. Bolas now has all of these abilities as well.
Dare challenge a god?
Yeah, this could be bad. We'll see though. Probably should have went with the Exile. Just the Sailor. I mean, it's something, I guess. Jump blocker, at the very least. But we can also... And now this is a lot of fun. I think just keep playing, or should we just have him Exile? Yeah, let's eat his hand. I don't really care for another Sailor off the top, right?
All the cosmos are mine to control. I hope you miss.
No attacks, playing defensively. He gets the draw. Okay. We have Elder Spell ready if he doesn't hit our boluses. Let's take his draw engine. Getting hit for 6. Takes the draw, spends all of his mana. Ops, that's fine.
You fool.
Good game, most definitely. We've got our Elder Spell to drop. Bolas can minus and slay him. Woof. Beacon of, or Interplanar Beacon. Just saving our skin there. Okay, so Grixis Walkers is pretty cool. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think we need to maybe rebalance some single target removal. You know, maybe like some Angrass Rampages or something, some sack effects. I don't know. I think we're close though, and you know, these decks can go so many different directions that it's hard to really get a perfect build. They're just different decks, right? So this is really focusing on not as much removal and really trying to get out those Planeswalkers and just crush value that way. I do miss Teferi. I hope you come back in Historic, my long lost friend. With that being said, you guys, I'm live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. At 7, we go live on Twitch. And then at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard, again, we're back on YouTube in the Discord all day. 500,000 gem giveaway, monthly free-to-entry cash prize tournaments, a bang in Discord. You know, just join, have fun. Share your gamer tag as well once you get in there so we can all be playing with each other. Because, you know, however bad the meta gets, we still have a great community where we can just play friendly games of matches that aren't so competitive, right? So I hope you guys have enjoying everything. We're almost at 10,000 for the gem giveaway. A few more days, and I'm sure we'll be there. Tell your friends so they don't miss out. And, you know, just really huge shout out to all of our financial support on Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube. I appreciate that. And, yeah, thanks so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys all have a great day and are enjoying Amonkhet Remastered as much as I have been. We have a ton of new decks and content to get into, so I'm really looking forward to that. Take care. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share to a friend, and hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads, right? Take care, and we'll see you in a little bit. Peace!
Magic.